Thank you, Deputy Crawley. Mr. Josie, you were charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Say it down. Yell. You have to yell. You have to yell what you want to read. Read aloud.
It is accused that you committed the offense of criminal trespass when you knowingly and maliciously interfered with the possession of Sawandria Josie's vehicle, driver and key holder, and you let out the air of her vehicle without her consent. Georgia. The court reviewed that charge, found there was probable cause for the warrant, and it approved the request for a warrant for your arrest. Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Sawandria Josie. You cannot return 903 Fox Chase Lane in Riverdale, Georgia. It was indicated that that may be your residence. As such, if you have any personal property at that residence, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property without a sheriff's escort for any other purpose until this matter is concluded or until this condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am.
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? I cannot hear him. What did he say?
He doesn't understand what waiving means.
I will set his court date. Your next court date will be September 1st at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
I'm still pressing charges on the judge.
Thank you. Have a good day. You all can mute the medical. We will next do Mr. Holly.
It'd be different, okay?
Sir, you are charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I wish you would have my charges read aloud because I don't understand my charges. I didn't do anything.
It is accused, sir. I asked you one question and your answer was you want to have them read aloud. So the court is going to do that now, okay? It is that you committed the charge of criminal damage to property in the second degree when you intentionally broke the door of the residence, your bedroom door. You stated you were the only one inside the residence when the victim, Darren Bowden, stated at 8:14 at 12:51, she took pictures of the door frame and it was not broken. And today at August 15th at 18:05, she stated when she arrived with police escort, she noticed the door open and damaged. The victim stated the damage was more than $500. The court reviewed this request for a warrant. The court, I'm not saying it's true. You asked what you were charged with, sir. So the court reviewed this, found there was probable cause for your warrant and your arrest. The court has set a bond for $15,000. You are to stay away from Darren Bowden. You cannot return to 718 Rock Shoals Court, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. This is a felony offense, so you do not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Are you able to make bond, sir?
What is the percentage on the amount that you just?
The court already told you, I'm not going to be doing the math. A company can charge anywhere between 10 and 15% of $15,000, sir. It will really depend on what company you or your family member chooses. So your bond is $15,000. A bonding company can charge anywhere between 10 and 15% of your bond. Are you able to make bond, sir? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused at this time?
You may. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, we will have Lena Thompson. After Ms. Thompson, we will have Marissa Green. Ms. Thompson, you are charged with aggravated assault. Do you waive the formal reading of your charge, or you wish to have your warrant read aloud? You waive it. So your bond is $30,000. You are to stay away from Ralph Robinson. What is the address, ma'am?
We live together, 969 Forest Avenue, apartment B1.
While the court understands that you live together, at this point, I'm not allowing you to return to that residence. So you are to stay away from 969 Forest Avenue, apartment B1. You can return, since it's your residence, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, do not go back to that property unescorted, and you are not to be around Mr. Robinson. Do you understand, ma'am?
I understand.
You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
No, I can't.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be August 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, ma'am.
August what?
October 7th.
So to stay here today.
Next, we will have Marissa Green.
Disagree? I love this thing.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You are Marissa Green.
Go back when you're.
You are charged with 3 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Your bond is $30,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Ma'am.
Do you waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I waive it.
Okay. You said you are able to make bond? Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Miranda Green. After Miranda, we'll have Arlene Ridley. Ms. Green, good morning. You are charged with 3 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrants, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
You can read them out.
Yes, speak up, man.
Accused that you had in your possession 1 ounce of a green leafy substance subject to be marijuana, also a clear plastic bag displaying fruity pebbles, THC edibles, and 5 pink oval pills suspected to be a Schedule 4 narcotic. These items were inside the vehicle that the offender was driving. This did take place in Clayton County, Georgia. The court reviewed that, found the cause for these warrants. As such, your bond is $30,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am? What was that?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Arlene Ridley. After we'll have Sanasia Robinson. You are charged with battery. Do you understand your charge and waive formal reading of your charges, or you wish to have them read aloud?
I don't want it read out loud.
Okay, your bond is $3,500. You're to stay away from Haley Amandis or Amandis Hill. You are not to return to 2363 Ovis Court in Riverdale, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. As such, you can return for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property with a sheriff's escort. You cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by a different judge. Do you understand, ma'am?
I kind of do, but I just work there at the hospital right around the corner at Southern Regional, and It's 4 people that live in that house. We rent that house out. It's all of us that, I don't have nowhere else to go. I'm not even from Chicago, but I don't have nowhere else to go. And I just got this job, because I apologize, but Henry did a furlough and laid us off. I was fortunate and blessed to get a job with Southern Regional right around the street on Upper Riverdale Road and Tower Boulevard. That's the only place I know to live. I've been there almost 10, 11 months. There has been.
While I understand that, ma'am, and the court is not unsympathetic, but based on the allegations, I cannot allow you to go back to that property until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Please share what you just shared with the court with your lawyer. He or she may be able to get something done for you based on what you shared with the court. But based on what I've read, I do not find that it's appropriate at this time to allow you to go back to that property unescorted. And you can only go back for the purpose of retrieving your personal property. While I understand you may not agree, the court's question is, do you understand my directive and the special condition?
Yes, you said that my bill is
$3,500. Another condition, in addition to what I've already discussed, is that you must not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand that condition as well, ma'am?
yes. How much is that, Mr.
The
3,000?
judge can.
Once again, I am not here to try to figure out the percentages, and I'm not trying to be mean or funny, but every bonding company is different. Some charge 10%, some charge 15%. So I can't do the math as to how much you would actually have to pay out of pocket. I can just tell you what the court has set your bond at. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, so if I make bond today, I can be dismissed.
If you make bond, what was the question?
I make bond within today or tomorrow, because I am supposed to be at work, but I be able to be dismissed and do I have a court date?
So if you will let me get finished. So the question I had for you was, are you able to make bond? That's my first question.
I believe so. I'll have to let
So the sheriff is not going to hold you once you make bond, ma'am. They have to release you by law. So once you make bond, you'll be released. Whenever you do make bond, you'll be released, okay? Now, as far as your court date, that's going to depend on two things. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? This is a misdemeanor offense. So you can waive your preliminary hearing and your next court date will come in the mail. Or if you choose not to waive your preliminary hearing, I can set you down for a preliminary hearing. But if you bond out, your preliminary hearing is going to be waived anyway. So do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So was it yes or is it no? You can't say I think so. I need to make sure that when you waive it, you can say yes or no.
I understand a preliminary hearing. If I waive it, that means then I won't have to pay the bond.
No, ma'am. The preliminary hearing is, as I stated earlier, when everybody said they could hear the court, the preliminary hearing is just to determine whether or not there's enough evidence to hold you in jail on this charge. So the preliminary hearing has a very low bar. If you waive your preliminary hearing, you will go for it. You will still have to plead guilty or not guilty. You will still have to go through the whole steps through the state court. So the preliminary hearing is just something for you. If you bond out by our policies and procedures, you'll be waiving it anyway. You indicate that you were going to bond out, but some people, they say, I still want you to set me down for a preliminary hearing. There's no right or wrong answer. I just need to know if you wish to waive the preliminary hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so to answer your question earlier, since you're waiving your preliminary hearing, your next court date will come in the mail, okay, ma'am?
Yeah, but what address if I'm not there?
You need to update the clerk of court with your new address, okay? And that's gonna be a condition with whatever bonding company you use will require you to keep them abreast of your updated address, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
We cannot do this all day. We'll be here all day. So I'm not gonna repeat myself. Going forward, I've already explained preliminary hearing 5 or 6 times. If you do not understand, I'm not upset, but at this point, I will just be setting preliminary hearings and you will have to go forward with your attorney. So are you Ms. Robinson, ma'am? Okay. Please make sure that Ms. Robinson, who indicated she will waive her preliminary hearing, make sure she signs the waiver so that it's returned to the court. And I didn't mean Ms. Robinson, I meant Ms. Ridley. Please make sure that she signs her waiver. Ms. Robinson, you are charged with reckless conduct, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand.
Okay, ma'am, your bond is $8,500. You are to stay away from Jocelyn Q. Smith. You can no longer use A and B taxi, and you must not return a quick trip on Sarah Boulevard. You must also not violate any laws or out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I think so, yes.
These are all misdemeanor charges. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, ma'am. Sansaban Villagomez, is that?
Spanish interpreter.
That's interpreter? No, this is, who are you, ma'am?
Sure, Moss.
My paperwork says Sansaban Villagomez is a female. That's not the same person as Rosales, right?
Villa Gomez needs a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. Thank you. And you are Ms. Wallace?
Yes.
You are charged with obstruction and emergency telephone call and simple battery family violence. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Yes, but I didn't hear my mom.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't want you to share about what happened because you don't have your attorney there with you, but whatever we're gonna share with the court about why you believe that you were not guilty, you can share with your attorney at the appropriate time, okay, ma'am? I simply asked, do you understand what you're charged with, and do you waive the formal reading of your charges? Is that a yes? You have to speak loudly.
Yes.
Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from Jamie Friedel. You cannot return to 6755 Flint Place in Jonesboro, Georgia. You must not violate any laws or out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Your next court date will be September 1st at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Jada Williams,
He's out on bond, Judge.
thank you. And then Rosales was a Spanish as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will go ahead and go with the men.
Allen.
Who are you?
Elder Allen.
Okay, give me one moment.
It's like Maurice. I'm sorry.
It does say Maurice. Give me a second. After Mr. Allen, we'll have Harrison Blaylock. Is that correct? Because that Mr. Boudon is in medical, right?
Sorry, Judge.
Will Blaylock go next? Because my records show that Boudon is in medical, correct?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so we'll do Harrison Blaylock next. Mr. Allen, you are charged with speeding, a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and theft by receiving stolen property. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud? I don't know if you all heard in the back, we are streaming live on YouTube. That doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure people are aware when we're reading it out loud where it's broadcasting. Do you wish to have it read aloud, or do you understand and waive the formal reading?
I can have it read out loud.
It is accused that you did operate a black 2012 Toyota Camry with the Georgia tag. I'm not going to read that out loud. While moving north on Sarah Boulevard at a speed of 79 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone in violation of Georgia Code 46-181. During the stop, a strong odor of marijuana was coming from within the offender's vehicle. The search of the vehicle was conducted, and 2 clear plastic bags of the green leafy substance was found under the steering column that weighed in at 37.26 grams, a violation of 16-13-30. The offender was also in possession of a silver and black Cobra Enterprise 9mm handgun that returned stolen out of Butts County Sheriff Department on August 10th, 2017, which is a violation of OCGA 1687. The court reviewed it. There's probable cause for these charges. Your bond is $20,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, sir.
Clayton.
After Mr. Blaylock, we will have Dale Davis. Sir, you were charged with no tail lights, improper tag, driving on an expired tag, no insurance, a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and improper lane change. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Read them a lot, Your Honor.
It's accused that the officer was participating in a road safety check at Panhandle Road, and the road safety check was implemented by Sergeant Kearney. It was supervised by that sergeant. It was planned and discussed. There were road safety signs approximately 150 feet from the entrance. All deputies participating were wearing yellow reflective traffic vests, and all patrol vehicles had their emergency lights activated. The road safety check was picked due to it being safe for deputies and the motorists. The objective of the check was to ensure all motorists are driving with valid licenses, valid registration, safety equipment was intact, and all lights were intact and fully operated. You were operating a 2002 Escalade bearing a homemade tag. The accused made a left turn on Flicker Road without using turn signals. The accused was also operating the vehicle without working tail lights. The accused is the owner of the 2002 Cadillac Escalade. They had a homemade tag. After further investigation, it was owned by the accused and is currently suspended as of May 24th, 2019. The accused provided a bill of sale stating you purchased the vehicle on August 12th in 2020. However, the registration shows the vehicle was owned by the accused since April of 2017. Doyle conducted an inventory search of the vehicle, located 7 pills of MDA in the rear cargo area. The suspected MDA was still positive tested with a positive reading. The court reviewed it, found there was probable cause for these charges, and set your bond at $10,000. You must not violate any laws on bond. Are you able to make bond?
It's Your Honor. Yes.
Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Dale Davis, Your Honor.
Thank you. After Mr. Davis, we'll have Marquavius Savers. Sir, you are charged with driving under the influence and following too close. You're very tall. Can y'all adjust the camera so I can see his face, please? Thank you. You are charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and following too closely. Your bond is $5,500. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Read aloud, Your Honor.
It's accused that you operated a 2007 Chrysler PT Cruiser on the Georgia Roadway, Highway 42 at Campbell Boulevard, causing an accident by striking a 2008 Chevy Silverado in the rear, causing visible damage. The offender also operated the vehicle under the influence of alcohol, submitted to a voluntary portable breath test, which indicated a positive result of 0.245. The offender also agreed to do a voluntary field sobriety test, which you agreed, and displayed several clues, which allowed the officer to see that you were under the influence. This occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. Your bond is $5,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond? Can I hear you? This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you waive your preliminary hearing? Can I hear you?
No.
Next court date will be September 1st at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Marquavius Favors.
After Mr. Favors, we'll have Quan Gordon. You were charged with 2 felony counts of financial transaction card fraud. Do you understand the charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
You can read them out loud.
It is accused that you did unlawfully take, obtain, and withhold a financial transaction card from the possession and control of another without the cardholder's consent. Issued to victim Anderson. Police made contact with Anderson, and it was charged that the car was missing, and that several deposits were made that were not approved by her. It is also accused that you did with intent to defraud B, B, and C. Use a card that was issued to victim Anderson that you knew was stolen, forged, altered for the purposes of obtaining goods and services. You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Are you Mr. Gordon?
Yes, Your Honor.
After Mr. Gordon will be Valdez Hernandez. Mr. Gordon, you are charged with simple battery and false imprisonment. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or you wish to have your charges read aloud? We are broadcasting live on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what? You want them read aloud, or you understand and waive the formal reading?
I want to read it aloud, Your Honor.
It's accused that you got into an argument with your girlfriend, India Albert, over her job as a dancer. You did not let her leave by pulling her out of the vehicle she was trying to ride. When the offender drove the vehicle away from his neighborhood view, the victim ran away from him, and the offender kept following the victim to the witness's house, trying to return the victim to his house. While the offender was pulling the victim out of the vehicle, he ripped her clothes and injured her, busted her lip, and injured her neck. This happened in Clayton County, Georgia. The victim advised that she was trying to leave the offender's house since morning, but he prevented her by staying in her way and continuing to argue about her, seeing her PUSSY. The victim entered the offender's vehicle backseat, getting ready to ride to work, during which the offender told her he was going to get her there. Then the offender changed his mind, and while he was yelling the victim was not going nowhere, he was trying to pull her out of a vehicle and take her back home. The victim escaped, and you followed her all the way to the witness's house. Court actually is going to increase the bond because one of the things that I saw earlier, I did not see earlier, I see now. And the court wants to ensure that you do not have an opportunity to reoffend. Your bond is $33,500. You are to stay away from India Albert. You must not return to 1212 LaBelle Street in Jonesboro. And you must not violate any laws of auto bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Who will have
Go around, sir. Go around, come on.
Valdez Hernandez. Good morning, sir. Necesita interprete?
Yes. Please, take him help
He needs an interpreter. Let's take him back.
Want some news?
Are you charged with reckless driving, improper lane change, and too fast for conditions? The court dismissed your reckless driving charge. You still have the improper lane change and the too fast for condition charge. Do you understand the nature of the remaining charges and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
No, I want to waive them, and I totally understand, man.
Your bond on the remaining charges is $1,000. You must not violate any laws on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No.
You say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The court date will come in. Well, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, or do you wish to have a court set you down for a preliminary hearing?
I wish to waive it, ma'am.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, sir.
Michael.
Are you Michael Adim?
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Charges.
You said what?
I understand my charges.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Cynthia Odebi. You shall not return to 1409 Baywood Court in Marwood, Georgia. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
I appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you understand your special conditions of your bond?
Yes, I do.
This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Montavia Smith. After Mr. Smith will be Noah Spite. Sir, you were charged with 2 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand your charge and waive formal reading of your charge, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Read them aloud.
Is accused that you commit the offense of OCGA 16-1330, possession of a controlled substance, when you were operating a white and colored Cadillac with your Georgia tag with the passenger Karan Smith not wearing his seatbelt. A traffic stop was made. The odor of marijuana was coming from the vehicle, and the vehicle search was conducted. During the search, the officer located 70 grams of marijuana inside a Ziploc bag labeled Baby Runts. There also was approximately 7 grams of marijuana found inside Mr. Smith's pants. Mr. Smith stated that all of the marijuana inside was on his person was his. Mr. Smith did commit the offense of 16-1330, possession of a controlled substance, when Mr. Smith was in possession of approximately 70 grams of marijuana that was individually bagged. He was in possession of clear plastic bags, which are used as packaging material, and a black digital scale that had marijuana residue on it. Mr. Smith was also in possession of 7 grams of marijuana, which was individually bagged, and 3.5 grams of marijuana in each bag. The court reviewed that, found there's probable cause for those warrants, and as such, you have 2 charges of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Your bond is $20,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond? Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, sir. Noah Spite.
Oh, no, it's great.
Noah Spite. You are charged with no tail lights, violation, obstruction of an officer, felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, open container, and failure to change your address on your license. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have them all read aloud?
You feel a way to read it.
Okay, your bond is $15,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond? I can't hear you, sir.
Yes.
Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Are you Amari Taylor?
Joshua Terry.
I need Amari Taylor, please.
I don't bond, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Terry,
Yes, ma'am.
you were charged with possession of firearm by a felon, theft by receiving stolen property. You were also charged with a misdemeanor count of obstruction. You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
I bonded out. When I first came in, I bonded out for obstruction of justice. And
You have felony warrants, sir. And on those felony charges that I just read to you, you are not eligible for a bond based on your probation status. So you are not eligible for a bond at this time. I have appointed an attorney to represent you, and you can talk with your lawyer about anything else, okay?
ooh, but I bonded out yesterday though for the gun charge. State your name. Your Honor, Jurgen.
Give me one moment. Sir, you are charged with fleeing from police officers, theft by receiving stolen property, aggravated assault, 2 counts of hit and run, reckless driving, too fast for conditions, improper lane change, and 2 red light violations. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have them read aloud? Waive it? I can't hear you. I'm not saying you said something wrong. I can't hear what you said.
Now waive the reading.
Your bond is $43,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be October 7th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank
You're welcome.
Jonathan Goose, Your Honor.
Hold on one second. What's your name?
Jonathan Goolsby.
I don't have Jonathan Goolsby on my calendar.
You're supposed to be an add-on, Your Honor. I was an add-on yesterday.
Okay, have a seat. I need to deal with Reginald Robinson first.
Reginald Robinson, how you doing, Your Honor?
I'm well, how are you?
Okay.
You are charged with criminal trespass and abandonment. Do you understand the nature of these charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
Waive them, Your Honor.
Your bond is $5,000. You are to stay away from Nikita Burney. You cannot return to 757 Commerce Boulevard in Riverdale, Georgia, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand those special conditions?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
These are misdemeanor offenses. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please tell me the first name of Goolsby. I do not have paperwork for him. I need to email intake.
Your Honor, we have Bodewan, that's in medical also. That was
Right, I have his paperwork. I'm asking about Goolsby because I want to make sure that we don't, he said they messed something up, or what was he saying?
They had him as an add-on, but we had the paperwork or not, but they said they were sending over, you might have got his court-appointed attorney form, but probably not the rest.
I didn't receive, with those forms, I just sent them right back over to you all. So I'm not sure if his form was included, but I don't have the paperwork. So give me a moment. And then what I need to do while we're trying to figure out the paperwork with him, let's go ahead and try again with the Spanish speakers. And I can read everything to the Spanish speakers as well as Mr. Boudon at the same time, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's stand by. Thank y'all so much. I know it's hectic trying to get all this stuff done on the weekend. So give me a second to try to get an email over regarding Goolsby. I'm going to try to get an interpreter on the phone. I will read the recitation of the script again for Mr. Boudouin and the Spanish speaking inmates, and then we'll try to get this done, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
First name is Doctor.
What was that, Crawley? You said something?
The first name is Jonathan.
Jonathan, thank you.
And just so you know, Honor, the clerk is right across the hall from me, so I'm going to be letting them know right now.
Thank you. We have the interpreter standing by. Are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
No, this is Judge Duvernay with the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. I'm getting ready to read the first appearance script to several Spanish-speaking inmates. There is a technological barrier because we're having to appear via video, and I'm having you speak by phone via speakerphone. So it's going to be very important that you speak very, very loudly. And if you would at this point tell the inmates to speak loudly as well, I would appreciate it. So we are now live again. Can you please share and let the inmates know that you are going to be speaking and interpreting for them?
Yes, thank you. Hola, muy buenos días. Yo voy a ser su intérprete el día de hoy. Voy a necesitar que hablen todos bastante fuerte para que nos podamos comunicar.
Okay.
Please ask Mr. Rosales to put his mask over his nose.
Por favor, Rosales ponga su máscara sobre su nariz.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Boudin, your name right is,
Sí, señor Busan.
okay, so just so you know, Mr. Boudin, he speaks English. I have to ask him a question as well. So you don't have to interpret for Mr. Boudin. Am I saying your name correctly?
It's Baudouin, Your Honor.
Okay, Baudouin. Mr. Baudouin, as well as Mr. Rosales, Miss Villagomez, and Mr. Hernandez. Please raise your right hand.
Señor Rosales, señor Villagomez, y señor Baudouin. I'm sorry, this is interpreter speaking. I'm missing one name. Rosales, Villagomez, Baudouin, and the other sir, may I get the name?
Hernandez.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Thank you. Señor Hernández, por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm
¿Juran ustedes o afirman
that the information contained in your applications for court-appointed counsel,
que la información que está contenida en su solicitud para lo que es la cita con la corte,
as well as any information given to this court,
así como toda la información que proporcionen a esta corte,
true and correct, so help you? If so, say I do.
está verdadera y correcta? Si es así, digan I do o lo hago.
I do.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hands down.
Pueden bajar sus manos.
This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es su primera aparición en frente de lo que sería el condado de Clayton.
It is important when the court speaks to you that you speak very loudly so that I can hear and the interpreter can hear.
Es muy importante que ustedes hablen bastante fuerte para que la corte los pueda escuchar y el intérprete los pueda escuchar.
You are not here for me to take your plea or to try your case.
No están aquí para que nosotros tomemos su declaración o para poder juzgarlos en su caso.
You are here for me to inform you of your rights and your charges.
Están aquí para que se les informe de sus derechos y de sus cargos.
I am going to give you your bond amounts and I will schedule your preliminary hearings.
Les voy a proporcionar la cantidad de su fianza, así como su fecha de aparición en corte.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienen el derecho de mantener silencio y no decir nada.
If you give up this right, anything you say may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
Si ustedes renuncian a este derecho, cualquier cosa que ustedes digan podrá ser usada contra ustedes en el momento de su juicio corte.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence.
Durante este y todos los procedimientos tienen ustedes derecho a declararse inocente.
Unless and until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hasta que se les pruebe totalmente culpable, más allá de cualquier duda posible.
You have the right to indictment by grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Tienen ustedes derechos a apelar ante un gran jurado por cuestiones de delitos o delitos menores.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tienen ustedes derecho a un juicio público con un jurado.
You have the right to a speedy, I already said that, I'm sorry. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Tienen derecho a que se realice una interrogación cruzada con las personas ante un jurado.
You have the right to compel witnesses on your own behalf.
Tienen ustedes derecho de llamar a testigos en pro de su caso.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you.
¿Tienen ustedes el derecho a que les represente un abogado?
I will appoint an attorney to each of you all.
Y les explicará a ustedes, se les asignará cada quien su abogado.
You have a right to testify on your own behalf, but you are not required to do so.
Tienen derecho a representarse a sí mismos, pero no lo tienen que hacer de esa manera.
Should you choose not to testify, no presumption of guilt is raised by your failure to testify.
I'm sorry, madam. This is interpreter speaking. Would you be so kind to divide that into two different segments and repeat it once again?
Right. You have a right to testify, but you are not required to do so.
Tienen ustedes derecho a testificar, pero no se les pide que lo hagan.
If you choose not to testify,
Si ustedes eligen no testificar,
no presumption of guilt is raised.
entonces, si presuntamente están ustedes culpables, se les asignará así.
Some of you will be allowed to post bond, and that bond could be cash, commercial, or property.
A ustedes se les dará el derecho, algunos de ustedes tendrán derecho de fianza y la fianza puede ser pagada en efectivo, con propiedad.
If someone brings cash, they will bring the full amount in cash to the sheriff's department.
En caso de que decida pagar en efectivo, tendrá que traer la cantidad exacta en efectivo, completa, al departamento del sheriff,
Who will hold it until your final court date.
quien la retendrá hasta el día final de su corte,
At which time the bond will be returned to the person who posted it.
en el momento en el cual será reembolsada y regresada a la persona que la presentó.
Someone could also use a commercial bonding company
Para también podrán ustedes utilizar lo que sería una compañía comercial de fianzas,
who can charge up to 15% of the bond as their fee.
los cuales podrán cobrar hasta el 15% de la fianza de la cantidad.
That will not be returned.
Esa cantidad del 15% no será regresada.
Someone could also use property if they have net equity in the property.
Y también podrán utilizar alguna propiedad en el caso que tenga liquidez en esa propiedad.
The property equity must be at least 3 times the amount of bond to qualify.
En caso de que usen la propiedad como equidad de fianza, tendrá que ser por 3 veces el valor de la fianza.
You each will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from going around certain people or certain places.
Cada uno de ustedes tendrá también ciertas restricciones para acercarse a ciertas personas y a ciertos lugares.
If you violate that condition, you will not be entitled to another bond while you are awaiting trial.
En caso de que ustedes violen alguna de esos condicionamientos, entonces no tendrán ustedes derecho a pedir la fianza.
Another charge, such as aggravated stalking, influencing a witness, or other charge could be brought against you.
Y se les podrá realizar nuevos cargos de haber amenazado a otras personas. Yes, madam, this is interpreter speaking. Would you be so kind to repeat that last fragment for me, please?
Aggravated stalking or influencing a witness could be brought against you.
Lo que sería hablar para agravar la situación o tratar de manipular a los testigos, también se podría utilizar en contra de ustedes.
For which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison,
por lo cual ustedes podrían ser sentenciados hasta 10 años en prisión.
and fined up to $20,000.
Y tener una multa de hasta $10,000.
If a family member is the alleged victim, they will not be able to post bond on your behalf.
En caso de que sea un familiar de la víctima, ellos no podrán poner una fianza en favor de ustedes.
I am setting a preliminary hearing for each of you.
Estoy programando una audiencia preliminar para cada uno de ustedes.
Madam Interpreter, please stand by. We're gonna do Mr. Baldwin first. He's not feeling well, so I wanna give him a chance to go back and get some rest. So Mr. Baldwin, you are charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrants? Or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, your bond is $3,500. You were to stay away from Caleb Baldwin. You cannot return to 2915 Anne Marie Lane in Rex, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. The court will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until that matter is resolved or modified by a different judge who has the authority to modify that condition. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
I am, Your Honor.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you. This is a misdemeanor. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, please sign your waiver and you can go ahead and go back and have a better day, sir. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. All right, so we are done with medical. We're gonna go back with the interpreters. Let's have Annabelle Gonzalez first.
González primero.
Sí.
No.
Sir, you are charged with no license.
¿Está usted cargado por no tener licencia?
Do you understand your charge?
¿Entiende usted su cargo?
Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Sea usted que se lea su... I'm sorry, one moment. ¿Desea usted que se le, lea su orden en voz alta?
Did he say C? Is it safe for him to take his mask?
Señor.
Hold on one moment, interpreter, Madam Interpreter. Deputy, is it safe for him to take his mask down?
Yes, she's fine.
Okay, so Mr. Rosales,
Señor Rosales,
do you wish for me to read your warrant aloud or do you understand your charge?
señor, ¿desea usted que se le lea en voz alta lo de su orden o entiende usted el cargo que se le realizó?
Sí.
Yes.
It is accused that you committed the offense of no license
Usted cometió la ofensa de no tener
when you approached a road safety check
cuando usted se aproximó a la revisión de seguridad de la camino
while driving a white Chevrolet Silverado.
mientras usted estaba conduciendo una Silverado blanca.
It's accused that you provided a Mexican identification card and admitted to not having a license.
Usted presentó una identificación mexicana y admitió que usted no tenía la licencia.
Your bond is $1,000.
Su fianza es de $1,000.
Your next court date is September 1st.
Y su fecha en la corte es el día 1 de septiembre.
Are you able to make bond?
¿Es usted capaz de pagar su fianza?
¿Cuánto es la fianza? Dice, perdón.
What's the amount for the bond?
$1,000.
$1,000.
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Buen día.
San Villagomez.
Señor Villagómez.
Ma'am, you are charged with no license.
Yes, I-
Tiene el cargo de no portar licencia.
Do you understand and waive your reading of your warrant?
¿Lo entiende usted y también decide que no se le lea su orden?
yeah.
What did she say? She said yes.
I'm sorry, madam, I was not able to hear. Señora Rosales, ¿puede hablar más fuerte, por favor?
Sí. Está bien que la lea.
¿Renuncia usted a que se le lea la orden?
No, está bien que la lea.
I'm sorry, madam, this is the interpreter speaking. I'm not able to hear the customer, the person, Ms. Rosales.
I understand. Could you ask her to speak very loudly? If she has to yell, that's okay.
Señora, ¿me puede hablar más fuerte? No importa que tenga que gritar.
Está bien que la lea. No, está bien que la lea.
No, it's fine if you read it.
Okay. It says that you operated a 1996 GMC Jimmy.
Sí. ¿Operó usted una DMC Jimmy de 1996?
Correcto.
Safety road trek
A través de lo que era un espacio de restricción de seguridad en la carretera.
and advised that you had no license.
Y admitió que no tenía usted licencia.
Your bond is $1,000
Su fianza es de $1,000
and you must not violate any laws out on bond.
y usted no puede violar las leyes de la autopista.
Okay.
Are you able to make bond?
¿Es usted capaz de pagar por su fianza?
Es que ya la pagaron.
They already paid for it.
Your next court date is September 1st at 8 a.m.
Nueva fecha de corte es el día 1 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana.
Okay. Thank you.
Tenga buen día.
Margarito Hernandez.
Margarito Hernández.
Hernández.
Hernandez Valdez. See? Sir, you are charged with license violation and no headlights.
Señor, está usted con los cargos de no tener la licencia y además de no tener sus faros.
Do you understand or do you wish to have your warrant read?
¿Entiende usted o desea usted que se le lea su orden?
No, necesito que se me lea. No.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You are accused of driving without a license
¿Es usted acusado de no utilizar su licencia
when you drove a F-150
cuando estaba usted conduciendo un vehículo F-150
on Terra Boulevard
en el Boulevard Head
with no headlights?
sin sus luces?
Your bond is $1,500
Y su fianza es de $1,500
and you must not violate any laws out on bond.
y no puede usted violar ninguna de las leyes en relación a su fianza.
Are you able to make bond?
¿Es usted capaz de pagar por su fianza?
No.
Your next court date is September 1st at 8 a.m. in room 201.
Su nueva fecha de corte es el día 1 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana en el habitación 201.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Tenga buen día.
Thank you, ma'am. That is the last of our Spanish speakers. Have a good day, ma'am.
Excuse me, madam. Thanks for your services.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your patience, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Mr. Goolsby, they sent over your paperwork. Give the court a moment to review it. Court has reviewed the file. You are charged with sexual battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Understand, Your Honor.
Your bond is $40,000. You are to stay away from the minor victim. I'm not going to read her name, full name, but the initials is J. Johnson. You are not to be around her in any way, shape, or form. You are not to return to the incident location in Atlanta on Brookstone Ridge. You must not violate any other laws. This was charged as a misdemeanor, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Your next court date will be September 1st at 8 a.m. in room 201. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you understand your charge and understand that you will have your court date on September 1st? I can't hear you. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are we done? Do we have any other inmates?
That's it, John.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much for y'all's help, y'all's patience. Y'all know this weekend is kind of crazy, but we got it done. Have a good one, okay?
I'll go.
Thank you, you too.